The narcissist will never be able to do this. Narcissists act arrogant and grandiose. They reveal an exaggerated sense of their own abilities and importance. They're opinionated, overbearing, and pleasantly proud. They look down on you, and they seem to be impressive. They intended to be impressive, but it's not really possible or practical. Which leads me to this one thing the narcissist will never be able to do. The narcissist will never be able to make you happy. They're full of grandiose ideas, plans and schemes which may appear to make them important, often in an unnecessary or annoying way. But the reality is that it isn't even practical, which is why they will never be concerned with the actual doing or use of something, and instead they will be more concerned with theory and ideas. But it's not even feasible, workable, achievable or attainable. It's only something that they can imagine in their minds, which they then impose onto you through the shared fantasy. And although it may leave a lasting impression on you, it will never be real. It may entertain you initially. It may produce a favorable influence or effect on you in the beginning, but with time it will only agitate and frustrate you, because it's just a figment of your imagination. It's just something that they have implanted in your mind, rather than something that they actually intended to carry out. It's just lies of future faking, because the truth is that they cannot make you happy. They engage in these schemes because they themselves are not happy, and they're just looking for an escape, which is what they find in the shared fantasy, because it feels more real when they have an audience, when they have people who are validating this illusion. But that's all it will ever be. It will only be a deceptive appearance and impression, which causes you to hold false ideas and beliefs, because it's just a crafty construction, a fantasy, so it will never give you a sense of confidence or satisfaction, and instead it will only leave you uncertain or doubtful, because it will affect your self-esteem. It will affect your confidence in your own worth and abilities, as you begin to wonder why it never manifests into reality, because it's just a piece of fiction. It's a work of art, but it is not something that you can ever come close to. It's not something that you can experience for yourself, because if you were to do that, you would instantly realize that it isn't real. The illusion would fall apart, and the narcissist knows this, which is why they give you lies and future faking. And when you start to catch on, they then begin devaluing you, because they want to continue existing in this fantasy. They don't want to be revealed or exposed. They want to live in your imagination because your belief gives it power. It makes them feel confident about themselves even though it isn't real. So they need the fantasy, and they need you to believe in it and validate it. The problem is that the more you do that, the more it will just irritate and frustrate you, because it's never going to be real. It's never going to be something that actually exists, as opposed to something that you're imagining. And this is why they will never be able to make you happy, and you will be left feeling like they're treating you badly. You will feel like it isn't successful or effective, or as though it's very harmful or unfair, or as though they're looking down on you, as though they're treating you as inferior, when in actuality they just can't give you something that they haven't got. They can't give you something that was never intended to exist in reality, something that isn't even practical or sustainable, something that was only intended to trick and deceive you. So you will never get your needs met by a narcissist. They will never be able to fulfill your desires, which is why they will not value your needs or desires, and instead they will treat them as unimportant, because it's not something that they can fulfill anyway. So why would they focus on something that they can't even accomplish? And it's why even if you felt miserable when you left them, and then you went back to them again, it didn't make you feel any better. They made you think that it would. But then when you actually went back to them, you felt worse, Because this is something that they will never be able to do. They will never be able to make you happy. They will never give you a sense of purpose. They will never be able to connect to you, so you will never be able to connect to them. They will never benefit you psychologically. And they will never just be real with you. So they will never be able to celebrate you. Because for them to celebrate your moments and efforts, they would have to acknowledge their own shortcomings. But then you may also feel like you can't be happy without them, because they've trained you to attach your happiness to them, and you've already invested so much into them. You've given them all of your time, energy, money, love and affection, everything that you are now looking for, everything that you value. But they are unable to reciprocate these things back to you. You're giving them everything that you want. And initially they're happy with the love and appreciation that they're getting from you. But they're unable to reciprocate it back to you. Because in order for them to do that, they would have to come out with a fantasy. And then you may not be interested in them anyway. Because that's what got you hooked. That's what they use to get you to attach to them. So when you start losing interest, because you're not seeing anything develop from them, then they start treating you like you're less than them. They stop valuing you. Because they're not able to reciprocate off of something that was only intended to deceive you. So they're not able to give you what you need, which is why it doesn't matter how much you put into it. You could go to the ends of the earth for this person. You could sacrifice everything. You could leave your family and friends for them. You could give them a control and influence over your life. You could give up everything for this person. But there won't be a mutual benefit. It goes against social norms. So they will not respond to your positive actions with another positive action. They will not reward your kind actions. They will not give up anything for you. So you will not get out what you put in, which will cause annoyance and upset. And it will trap you in the relationship, because you've already poured so much into them, and they got everything they wanted from you, but then you leave with nothing, or without getting what you hoped or expected to get, or what you were led to believe you would receive. So when you're dealing with a narcissist, you're being robbed of your time, energy, money, confidence, strength, happiness and love. Which is very unfair. It's very unkind and inconsiderate and unreasonable. It's dishonest, deceptive and unethical. Because you gave them everything you had to give. You gave them everything you asked for. And everything they asked for. But you haven't gotten anything in return. And when you try to get your needs met, they get angry. They become oppositional, and then they start asking questions, or they become bitter and resentful. They never deal with it in a kind or friendly way, or with affection or enthusiasm. They never think that after everything you did for them that you should receive something in return. They never want to make anything better for you. They never give you an opportunity. Because they're toxic and narcissistic. Your needs don't even cross their minds. They're only ever thinking of themselves. So it'll never work out the way that you want it to work out. And it's why they will never be able to make you happy. Even at times when you feel like you have something and you should be happy. And they may even call you selfish. Or you may feel this way on your own, because it will make you feel like you're a problem. Especially once they've gotten you to see them as this person that you want and need. but then they don't end up being it. They may have appeared like it initially, which is then what caused you to sacrifice everything for them, because they made you believe that they could make you happy. But if you knew that they didn't have the ability or potential to make you happy, then you wouldn't have given up as much, because then you would have known that they can't treat you right. You would have known that they can't meet your needs. So there's not going to be any reciprocity. But narcissists lack empathy. So they don't care if you're unhappy. They want more than what they put in. While you may just want equal. But instead, it's like each time you're putting $100 into the bank and you're getting $50 back, which is something that most people would not do. They wouldn't put $100 into the bank knowing that they're only going to get $50 back. But because you're already invested, you just keep putting in more and more, and you're hoping that eventually you're going to get something in return. But the more you put in, the less you get, until eventually it drains you. And then you don't even have anything to put in anymore. While each time the narcissist was just putting $5 into the bank and getting $50. They put a little bit into it, but they get a lot out of it. So they just have to keep going until you have nothing left to give. Because you're giving them everything they want and need, but you're not getting anything out of them. The relationship isn't serving you. You're not getting your needs met. Because while they're getting something real from you, all you're getting is a fantasy. You're getting a dream that they can't even fulfill, while you're putting the work in to make it a reality for them. Which is how you end up putting in so much, but then you don't have anything to show for it, especially emotionally. Because a narcissist will never be able to emotionally fulfill you. They will leave you feeling unhappy. But then your life may look good externally, while all of these things are happening to you that other people aren't aware of, and that the narcissist doesn't want to talk about. So to an observer, it may appear as though you're just ungrateful, and the narcissist will even blame you for being unhappy. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button to receive the notifications. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate at paypal.me/Narc Survivor. You can book a one-on-one with me on my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.